definitely going to get these jewels, these gems, these downloads. You're going to get that knowledge, okay? Because 40 minutes of Cards and Conversations is like 4 years of college, okay? So you're definitely going to get the knowledge nuggets dropped inside, okay, of your brain. So let's go ahead and get started. If you wasn't able to peep out the topic, we are talking about soul contracts, all right? And these are important because this is not your first rodeo. This is not your first time here on Earth. A lot of you guys are returning back because whatever you did in a previous lifetime, you couldn't complete. You didn't complete, or you just didn't want to complete, all right? So your ancestors have pushed your ass to the front line and say, oh no, you gonna finish this, okay? We couldn't finish it. You're the chosen one, so you have to make good. You have to make amends. You got to clear that karma up for your whole bloodline, all right? And this is exactly what a lot of you guys are doing, which is why your walk is so heavy. Your walk is so hard. Your load is so heavy, rather, because you guys are chosen. And you guys are here to really set the tone for your entire bloodline. So we're going to talk about why, or what exactly is, soul contracts. Yeah. What do they entail? What do they mean? Have you even heard of the term soul contracts? Because before I had my spiritual awakening, I was like, a soul contract. Is that something that's written in your soul? And that's exactly what it is. Okay, you have a contract that you agreed to. Hi, Soraya. Your soul has a contract. And we got Gemini season EO.
Yes,
your soul
we
has
are.
A contract that you agreed to. So yeah, that's very important for you guys to know what it is, what it entails, and why you guys are here. So we're going to get into that, all right? So have you guys ever asked yourself, why you're in a relationship, or if you separated from someone, or just in general, have you ever asked yourself, why did they leave? What was the purpose of me meeting that person? Why did this person have a significant impact on my life? Because there are certain people that you remember and certain people you just don't want to remember. You're like, you know what, I had enough. Enough is enough, and too much ain't never good for someone. And some certain energies you want to forget, but there's a reason why that certain energy had an impact on your life. There's a reason why their energy was so heavy. It's for your soul's evolution, to help you guys evolve, right? So we are going to be talking about understanding soul contracts and what exactly are soul contracts, okay? What is it exactly? So before we incarnate, our souls make agreements. Like I said, they're spiritual contracts, and we make these agreements with other souls, right? And sometimes the contracts say, I'll meet you at this moment in time, okay? I'll hurt you at this moment in time so that we can grow. Or I'll love you so that you remember who you are. And sometimes the contracts even say, I'll leave you so that you can remember who I am, right? Which will in turn help you remember who you are, all right? Because sometimes pain really is like the first step of transforming. Just really transforming your entire life. Sometimes pain is like the start that changes the whole trajectory of your life. And it's sad that that's what it takes sometimes, but sometimes your soul needs like a tower moment, really, to just have everything just be shaken up, for you to change. So this is what soul contracts are, right? And what they entail. So, you might feel that someone is your person, right? But their soul has unfinished business elsewhere, okay? Maybe it's a karmic relationship they're in. It could be platonic. It could be with a lover. It could even be with a family member, okay? Karmic doesn't always mean a significant other. You could have a karmic mother, a karmic sister, a karmic, friend. So it's possible that you may feel that a certain person is your person, but they just have so much karma that they're going through because they signed up for these karmic encounters. They signed with these other entities to experience these things in order for them to clear the karma that they have, right? That they didn't finish in previous lifetimes, right? So sometimes the lesson in that is betrayal, them betraying you. Sometimes it's trust, sometimes it's accountability, and at other times it's abandonment. Them abandoning you in the relationship in order for you to grow and understand, and overstand that you were all that you needed from day one. Yeah, it was nice to have someone else there to be able to experience another person's energy, especially someone who you love. But sometimes you need to have that happen to you in order for you to find yourself. You need to be abandoned. You need to be betrayed. You need to be lied to, lied on, drugged through the blood, all right? In order to find yourself. Sometimes that's how you find yourself, through all of those trials and tribulations. No, it doesn't sound good, but at the end, it feels better because then you come out on top, all right? Yes. Pressure builds diamonds, okay? So, yes, it hurts, but it's necessary, okay? You're not being overlooked. You are being protected until the soul work is done. When the soul work is done, that's when you can say, okay, I've learned the lesson, all right? I've learned the lesson, and I don't want to go through that ever again. But, some people, they don't learn. They have to go through several lessons in order for them to figure out, okay, this is not what my soul wants to do for the duration of me being on earth. This is not what my soul wants to do. So if you can learn the lesson at a ample amount of time, it's great. But, some souls have to continue, that lesson until they learn it. Hi, Reverend. So, when you let someone go to learn their soul lesson, it's an act of spiritual maturity. Why? Because a lot of times we want to be the spiritual teacher, right? We want to say, okay, well, I know what the problem is, so let me help you, okay? Let me help you. Help me to help you so that we can help each other. But sometimes you're not meant to be that person's spiritual teacher. Sometimes you're not meant to be that person's lesson. Sometimes you're meant to be that person's lesson. So they got to receive the lessons from someone else so that they can fully receive and embrace and appreciate the blessings, okay? So, and that was a lesson I had to learn the hard way, okay? But that is something that you guys need to be conscientious of, okay? You're not meant to be everyone's teacher. Sometimes people need to learn lessons from other people. Most of the times, those lessons are karmic lessons. And if you didn't make that contract with them, then you're not meant to be their spiritual teacher. Got it? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let someone learn the lessons that they signed up to learn with the energies, the spirits, the entities, the people that they signed up to learn the lessons from. Sometimes that's not even none of your business. Let them learn their lessons, all right? All right? So you're saying, I love you enough to let your soul evolve, even if it's not with me. Sometimes you got to say that. I love you enough to let you go. I love you enough to say, you know what? I love you and I want you happy, even if it's not with me. Because sometimes you're not meant to be with someone at the time that you want to be with them, because their soul is not finished learning the lessons that they need to learn in order to come back to you, so that you guys can grow together, right? And 9 times out of 10, if that person is meant for you, they're going to come back, all right? Not just older, but wiser, okay? And if it's meant for you, it's not going to miss you. Always remember, what's meant for you is never going to miss you. Never going to miss you, okay? So your soul has contracts too. Like, just because that person has contracts does not mean that you're exempt from this. You have soul contracts too that you signed up for, okay? You have your own contracts to fulfill. So don't wait in limbo. Grow, heal, align. And this is what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about how a lot of you guys are chosen. from your bloodline. Your bloodline has chosen you guys, especially if you guys have been feeling like you're the black sheep of your family, and you've been feeling like, why am I this way and my family is the complete opposite, like night and day? That means because you guys are chosen. You're special, okay? Your star seeds, your earth angels. A lot of you guys are ascended masters who don't even know, okay? Guardian angels in the flesh. Remember, this vehicle, this avatar, is just because you guys are having an earthly experience, rather. But you are literally a spiritual being having an earthly experience. So don't ever like take that away from yourself. You are a spiritual being. And that's why I hate when people say, oh, that person died. No, they transcended to the next assignment. Death is not final, okay? Heaven is not final. Heaven is a state of consciousness, okay? Like, you don't just die and go to heaven. I don't know where that theory came from, but you go to the next assignment, okay? Your soul is constantly evolving, constantly. Why would that make any sense to just stop at heaven and just be in heaven doing what? Just sitting there? No, your soul is constantly evolving, going to the next thing. And so this is why you guys have returned back here, to finish out your soul contracts that you didn't finish. Or a lot of you guys are here to finish out the contracts that your ancestors weren't able to finish out. A lot of you guys are breaking ancestral toxicity, karma, a lot of things that ran through your bloodline, ran into you, and you said no more. Like, it stops with me. It stops with me. My soul is straight broken. I'm sorry, All Dog K9. I hope that by you watching this, I can piece a little bit of your soul back together, because I've been there. I have been there, to where my soul has been completely broken into a million pieces. Didn't know where to turn, what I was doing on earth, or what my soul's purpose was. But I tell you one thing's for sure, and two things for certain. The more you heal, the more things become clearer to you about your purpose, why you're here, who's here for you, and what you're doing here. You're welcome. You're welcome. This is actually a tribal mark. These 3 dots. As well as all of these different tattoos that I have cascading down my neck. They all mean different things. But these are tribal marks. And this is also a way for you to get more in tune with your third eye. Another tattoo I have. So this is the reason why I have them tattooed on my third eye, so that my third eye is amplified. So I hope that answers your question. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties with this light, guys, so please bear with me. So let's keep it moving. I'll pop back into the chat, see if you guys have any questions. But yeah, this is the reason why you guys may feel like you're the black sheep of your family, because you pretty much are, okay? Like, you're different. Mm-hmm. You have a lot more on your plate than your family, okay? You were chosen, so this is the reason why you feel like you're different, because you are different, okay? So, if you guys feel like that you're not sure about what type of soul connection that you're in, have I gotten that far yet, or did I skip? I think I may have skipped. But yeah, I didn't even talk about the different types of soul contracts. Let me back it up, because I did write that down. All the different types of soul contracts that you can be in. Because there are several. There are so many different types of contracts that you can be in. There's karmic, as I said, to where like you guys both signed up to teach each other lessons about life, about love, about your legacy. There's twin flame, you know, one soul split into 2 bodies, and you guys are constantly triggering each other. And that's for your soul's growth and for evolution to evolve. There's soul tribe, people that are in your soul family, like you have like your soulmate, and a soulmate can be, you know, someone who's your friend. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who you are romantically involved with. But there are so many different types of soul contracts. So you have to figure out which type of dynamic that you're in, because a lot of times they get mixed up and you don't know if you're in a karmic or a soulmate or a twin flame. So it's really important to differentiate between which one that you're in. Okay. And yeah, like you said, it's okay to be different. It is totally okay to be different. I think Dr. Seuss said that in the book. Who wants to be like everyone else? Who wants to be like everyone else? It's okay to be different. I love being different. So yeah, that was all I had, guys. I thought I had more notes here. No, that was it. But I really want to stress the importance of healing. That is so important. You guys will hear me say that in black and blue in the face, but it is so important. Healed people tell the story different. Healed people see things different, okay? Healed people treat people different. It's so important to heal. And I know that's easier said than done, especially if you come from like maybe a family where you were overlooked, or you were underappreciated, or you were mistreated, verbally abused or whatnot. That's tough. But just know that everything that happened to you was happening for you, was for your soul's growth, for your soul's evolution, to teach you a lesson so that you know exactly what not to repeat or what not to go to when you start dating. And that's why I said, like, it's very important to look at your bloodline and look at what the women did in your family. Or if you're a male, look at what the men did in your family and see if it's being repeated. Are you following in your father's footsteps? Was your father following in his father's footsteps? Because if that's the case, if it's not on a positive note, then you have to break that cycle. You have to break that cycle. That stops with you. That stops with you. Because if not, then guess what's going to happen if you have children? That just continues on down the bloodline. And nobody's winning when the family feuds. Nobody wins when the family feuds. So that is why it is so important for you guys to heal. We have curated a whole entire page, Instagram page, on healing, because people don't know how essential it is. It truly is the key to everything. I'm telling you guys, you will see things different. You will look at people different. I was just having this conversation with one of my very good friends, who's an Aquarius, and I was telling her, like, the more healing you do, you see people different. You don't see them through their actions. You see them through their trauma. And what do I mean by trauma? You see them for what they've been through. Because 9 times out of 10, when someone is reacting to you or giving you a certain, how do I put it into words where it makes sense? When someone is showing you their true colors, I'll say, it's not so much them reacting to you, it's you triggering them, okay? And them reacting to whatever trauma you have triggered in them. And that's a little like tricky. It's hard to break down. So I was trying to say it as simple as possible, but not necessarily dealing with the person. You're dealing with their trauma and what they've been through. Oh, you're an Aquarius? So you are truly unconventional, because Aquarian energy is unconventional. You guys do not color inside the line. You don't like to be told what to do. You know, you guys are like the rule breakers, the rebels, and I love Aquarian energy. But yeah, we were just having that conversation. Like, it's so important to know that we're not necessarily dealing with people. We're dealing with their trauma. So you realize that the more you heal, that when you have a confrontation with someone, or when you get into an argument, or you guys are not on the same page, you really have to look at, okay, what obstacles are they still trying to overcome? What are they still trying to find within themselves that they're triggered? Because when you're triggered by something that someone says, you have to think, okay, it's not so much what they said. Why is it triggering me? Because that right there, what's being triggered is something that I haven't healed. If it's triggering me, I haven't healed it. Because when you know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know what you bring to the table, no matter what anyone says, it can phase you. But if you still find that you're being triggered by certain things that people are saying, you need to take a moment, step back and say, okay, what haven't I healed? What haven't I healed within myself to where what they're saying is making me go batshit crazy to where now I want to fight. Now I want to throw hands. That's that part that you need to heal. And sometimes it's hard to find what exactly that thing is that you need to heal. But that's why you take it one day at a time, because healing is not a one-day thing. I always say that. You're never going to be healed in one day. I don't even think the healing has an end date. I think it's like evolution. It's constantly evolving. Kind of like the ego. You can never really truly eradicate the ego. You can never really get rid of the ego. You have to master your ego. You have to work with it. Don't let it master you. Okay, all my Leos out there, don't let the ego master you. So that was all I had, my beautiful soul family. Just please make sure that you guys are healing. Make sure you're doing the necessary soul work. And make sure that whenever you're being triggered, you go within to see why that is bothering you so much. Don't go outward, okay? Because whatever they're saying is their opinion. That's their perspective. It doesn't mean that it's true because they're saying it, but if it's affecting you, if it's penetrating you, if it's taking you off, okay, it means that it's a part of you, a part that you haven't healed, the aspect to you that you have not healed, okay? Yeah, healing is the way. Healing is the way. All dogs, K9, healing is the way. It's the answer literally to everything. It truly is. And just take it one day at a time. Tarot has helped me, honestly. Tarot and meditation has been my best friend. And grounding, becoming one with the earth. But tarot, tapping into the different energies as to why people do what they do, why I'm doing what I'm doing, to the point now to where I don't even have to use tarot. Now I can just go within and meditate. So I started with tarot. I started pulling cards, and now I just pull in. So I don't know where you want to start, but that was where I started. So I'll go ahead and give the floor to you, Magoon. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them in the comments, and I'll be checking out the comment section as Magoon gives us a read.
Yes. So first I have to say that another thing about your soul contract is that when you do start to have your awakenings and your transitions, when you start to have your your leveling up moments, I'll call it that. We go through things. We tend to go through things, and we may not physically understand it until we get the message that we're in the right space at the right time. And it can be so chaotic, and you're like, how is this the right space at the right time? And that's because it's something spiritually happening, but you're feeling it physically. So I'm going to show you all, like I pulled this card exactly 2 months ago for myself. And you see what's on it, right? Butterflies.
Mm-hmm. Transformation.
For the past 2 months, for the past month going on 2 months, every single day I have seen butterflies. and the number 222, transformation. And so that let me know that I was going through a transformation. And even when I pulled this, like Spirit asked me to grab this deck and read two cards before I pull the tarot. Look what's on the back. Butterflies.
Butterflies. IT visionary.
And so that lets me know that everything that's happening right now is as a part of the transition that I'm currently going through for myself. And so what has been happening is there's been a lot of chaos. I'm not even going to lie to you all. It's been a lot of chaotic moments and a lot of moments where I'm looking up like, hey, are we good? Like, because I feel like my world has been turned upside down and shaken. And you know how, like, when somebody's looking for something in a bag and they just dump it all out, and it's like, hey, what's going on? Are we good? Like, hey, listen.
Yeah.
And in that, I had to seek help, and I was like, hey, what's going on? And they were like, you're good. And I'm like, yeah, are you sure though? Because I feel like I'm getting beat up. And a part of that process is a part of your expansion process. Let me first say that. And think about when, if you are a woman who has had a child, you know what that pain feels like when that baby's coming through that birth canal. That is what it feels like spiritually. You being stretched to your limits. So if you have not gone through that, ladies, and you have had a child, just you already equipped. If you are a man and you don't know what that's like, the just imagine you being opened, but you're not breaking apart. You're just being stretched. You're being pulled to your limits because you have physically and mentally and spiritually been prepared for this all of your life, honestly. So that's why I loved what you were saying about if you've ever felt like you were the black sheep, you've always felt different. So in your transformation, it's going to look different. It's going to feel different. And people are not going to always be able to understand it. And those are the moments that you have to go through things alone because that is your path. Nobody can tell you how to walk your path. And interestingly enough, you hit on some topics that me and Soraya talked about a little bit last night. But last night before I went to sleep, and if you all had a chance to go to my channel and watch the spiritual progress report, I did make a live yesterday on that, and it was based off of this conversation where someone well, first I said a prayer, and the prayer was being answered by this conversation. So let me first start off that way. And the conversation, this person called themselves trying to challenge me with the Bible, with biblical scriptures. For those who are just now tuning into us, I'm a preacher's kid. I was raised in the church. I'm well versed in the rhetoric of the scripture. I'm also well versed on how God's spirit has always communed with me, even as a child. So I've always took the scripture and studied the people of the church because I'm like, a lot of the things that you're doing and what you're telling me the Bible says to do never align. So I'm kind of confused. And I would have those conversations with my mom as a child. I don't understand why people talk of faith, and when it's a moment where you should be expressing faith, you're not showing it. You falling apart. You're falling to pieces. I'm not getting it. Help me understand. And that is where this person was coming from. However, I'm gonna put a tab here. A few minutes ago, and I spoke with Ashley earlier, and please forgive me. I normally don't eat on the channel, but I have to go to bed earlier, and I don't want to go to bed with a lot of food on my stomach. So I ate then. I went to go get my food. I opened my door. My food was not there. That lets me know that the person did not read my instructions. I got annoyed, but I didn't get as irritated as I normally did, which lets me know I have grown. And when I sat down and while I was listening to Ashley, Spirit was like, but you're not really angry. So don't give it life. Don't give it energy. And I said, okay. And so I was reflecting on why was I not really it was annoying, right? It's an annoying situation. But why wasn't I annoyed? And the answer came to me because you've learned to give grace where when you were a child you never received grace. So as a person who feels like the black sheep, you will begin to give people grace because you never experienced it, and you'll be able to extend grace a little more while keeping your boundaries, right? Because you understand the importance of not everybody is where they need to be. Let's face it, we are in a world where people do not genuinely care anymore. There's some people who do, but for the majority of the people, they are about self. And that is how the world was created. Now, going back to the conversation, in the conversation, I was before we had the biblical conversation, there was another conversation that took place, and I addressed the situation. So, say like, and I'm not going to share the exact conversation, but I'll give an example. So, say like the person says, "Hey, do you like meatballs in your spaghetti?" And I say, of course, I love meatballs. Like I love Italian food. And this person say, oh, what's against my culture to eat meatballs? But I've been thinking about eating meatballs lately just to try it because I'm tired of the same food. I'm tired of eating the spaghetti and it's not, I don't know. I feel like there's something missing. So I think I'm going to try to add meatballs. And my question to the person was, is that the only reason why you want to add meatballs to your spaghetti? Or is it that you haven't found the right seasoning to season your meatball less spaghetti? And I said, because I don't want you to do something that you really don't want to do, but you're going to do it anyway to fill in a void. Right? And the person runs out and say, yeah, you're right. I really don't want to add the meatballs to my spaghetti. And I'm like, well, don't do it.
Don't do it then.
Don't do it. So then when we got to the biblical portion and the person wanted to talk about, wanted to address sin, right? And I said, it's not a sin unless it's like you have to know yourself. And I said, sin is a personal thing because what's a sin to you may not be a sin to me. Right. Mm-hmm. And in it, I said, just think back when we had the meatball spaghetti conversation. I told you not to do it if that's not what you really wanted to do. If you had done that, if you had added meatballs to your spaghetti when you know you really didn't want to do that, that would have been a sin against you. That would have been a sin against yourself. That's not a sin for me because I grew up eating meatballs with my spaghetti. That's not a sin to me. And the person began to like expound and expound and expound. And I was like, listen, I'm not going to fight you on the word. I'm telling you, the Bible has been broken down and used to control people. That is why that's where it becomes witchcraft to the point of wanting to control people, which is why Ashley and I talked a few episodes ago about when you're trying to cast a spell to get somebody to love you, those love spells, You have to also understand that if they don't work, there's going to be some sort of a backfire that's going to land on
Right.
you, right?
Yep.
So I told the person, you can't, you can't, you're trying to make reason as to, like, try to demonize something that you don't understand. You can't demonize me for wanting to have meatballs in my spaghetti, because in my culture, we eat meatballs in our spaghetti. That's not a sin to us. So you can never make me believe that this is a sin. So you have to grasp the fact that that's why, and I said, even the Bible talks about doing a self assessment, because when you find out what you like to your core, you will know what
Mm-hmm.
is for you and what is not for you.
Yep.
And I
That's
said,
right.
you have to think of it like this, think of it as an allergen. If something that you know is not for you, you're going to have some sort of negative reaction. The people
Mm-hmm.
you hang around, if you have grown to a certain point, it's going to be certain things about those same people that you used to hang out with that's going to irritate the hell out of you. And you're
Yep.
going to say, I need to separate myself because I no longer can live in these conditions. I no longer can take these conditions. And
Mm-hmm.
then, because you recognize that, you will also learn how to extend grace and bow out gracefully and leave. And it's
That part.
nothing wrong with that. And people can talk about you, people can get mad and fuss and stump and have temper tantrums, but that is your own self preservation and protection from spirit. Because as you elevate, you're going to go through new things, you're going to experience new things, but you're also going to learn how to extend grace a little more. And
Mm-hmm.
so I told the person, hey, I'm not angry with you, but we're going to have this real conversation and know that you can never beat me down with religion. You could never, because I know who I am and I know what I can and cannot take. And that is a part of your soul contract, because your soul contract is going to put you in a place where you know yourself. It's going to put you
Right.
in a place where you know what is for you and what is not for you. Your walk is your walk. And because
Mm-hmm.
people may not understand why you do the things that you do and say the things that you say, they will never understand, because it may be an allergen to them, but it's never going to be an allergen to you. It's going to
You.
be your new norm. It's going to be your normalcy. You just have to embrace it. And so the two cards that came out that Spirit wanted me to pull, divine healing and earth healing. And I think that that's important. And I'm going to read you quickly both of them again before I get to the cards. So I'm going to be quick. Divine talents read, you are a talented soul. Over many lifetimes, we just talked about lifetimes, or Ashley did. You have developed your spiritual abilities to channel higher awareness and attract healing energy and radiate light to uplift the consciousness of those around you. Your divine talents are many and uniquely expressed through you. Your talents do not have to resemble those of another to have their own inestimable value. Do not be afraid to use them. And I'm saying this because we're going to go a little bit into the talents, but you're going to start noticing that you're now having spiritual gifts that you didn't know you had. And for some of you, you're going to start to notice, hey, I do have a talent, a physical talent that I never knew that I had. Wow, I'm really good. Let me explore this. And that is what Spirit wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Divine talents are a way in which the universe reminds us of what we are here to do. Divine talents are unlimited. They include the ability to channel spiritual guidance and healing energy, to perceive clairvoyantly, and be psychic and empathic. Other spiritual talents are the ability to release earthbound spirits, earth healing techniques such as working with energy grids, as well as healing ability with crystals and the many and varied technologies of light. There are other spiritual talents too. These include writing, performing, sound healing, dancing to awaken awareness, creating art, photography, or divinely inspired tools and jewelry. Cooking food that heals the body and spirit is a spiritual talent, as are the abilities to bring people together, to offer comforting and inspiring words at the right time, to help others overcome fear and feel more at peace in moments of importance, and more. You could use your divine talents in your career as a healer, in your work in the corporate world, or in your stay at home role as a parent, helping to raise more conscious, secure, and empowered children in a world that is desperate need of strong, spiritually grounded leaders for the future. You can use your talents to create a vocation that truly inspires you and brings your light to the world. You can use them in the line at the grocery store. The point is that you use them. This oracle comes to you with a message. You have spiritual talents, some of which have been developed in other lifetimes and will simply and suddenly spring back to life as if from out of the blue this lifetime. Others need a little more attention, patience, and effort to be brought to life in the world. This is particularly the case for you at this time if you have also drawn or also attracted to read the message now, the Oracle of Past Life Activation. Sometimes there is fear in sharing talents. You may have a subconscious or a very conscious part of life recollection that involves shame, isolation, ridicule, fear, or even torture or death as a response to sharing your talents for healing and helping others. Maybe you fear your spiritual talent will not allow you to meet your material needs, or that others will reject or deny your talent even if you know it to be authentic and helpful. Or perhaps you need to acknowledge your talents yourself, believe in yourself, in your abilities, and in your capacity to use those talents in a constructive, healing way. Keep developing your talents until your own unique expression comes to life. Don't give up in the early and possibly awkward stages, dismissing your abilities as less than those of another. Trust that there is something very real and worthwhile in you. Do not dismiss or diminish your potential. Treat yourself as an investment worthy of development. Give yourself a chance, enough time, attention, and practice to discover what you are really capable of. The, excuse me. The universe knows. Soon you shall too. This oracle also reminds you to do what makes you happy, to chase your sacred bliss and express yourself in the world via the unique and special abilities that the divine has bestowed upon you. When you follow what you love, you are on your life path and you shall succeed, beloved. Your invocation, all loving universe, teach me to realize and trust in my divinely given talents. I ask for your unconditionally loving assistance in releasing any block or obstacle to the full development and joyful expression of my spiritual gifts in the world. Help me find the courage and boldness within that I need to believe in myself and be completely empowered to make my loving contribution to the world through my own free will and divine merciful grace. So be it. Divine talents. And then earth healing. Now, it came in backwards order, or I would say the order that it should be, right? But for this deck, it came 39, 38. So I don't know if somebody have seen those numbers, or you're 38, you'll be 39. what have you, right? So I will read this quickly as well. Earth healing. You are making a real contribution to the planet through your spiritual journey. Remember this and believe that your needs will be generously met by the earth and the universe. What you are doing matters and you will be supported. The earth recognizes you. She sees you as a conduit through which she is fed higher frequencies of light, love, and divine presence. This assists her on the journey of her own evolution. Earth is an exceptionally beautiful and powerful divine being in her own right. Yet, she, like every other being, benefits from the assistance of higher frequencies, which offer a loving hand to help raise her vibration and continue her evolution. You are here to have your spiritual life journey in a human body. Part of that process will involve sharing your light with the earth itself. This may see you take on the role of a healer, guide, mentor, or teacher to others on the path. It may see you doing work with the natural world with various earth centered causes such as conservation and animal welfare, organic and biodynamic farming, and ethical food production. It may involve an active prayer life that is ongoing through your day, praying for assistance, compassion, clearing, and blessing when you see an accident on the road, an animal or person who seems to be suffering, or an item on the news that you know needs light and healing. From the most obvious gestures to the more subtle, the oracle tells you that you are powerful enough to make a meaningful contribution to the quality of consciousness upon Earth. Earth asks you to do your work with quiet confidence and dedication. She gives thanks for all you have done and acknowledges her love for you. She will support you in your work by providing material means for you whilst you are here on this planet. Excuse me. These include financial support, housing, food, and human and animal relationships. She will also provide guidance for your progress, opportunities to grow and expand your field of influence, education, and training opportunities, the means to take advantage of them, and the chance to apply what you have learned in a real world context. The more you devote yourself to your task of earth healing, the more the earth will support you in fulfilling your inspired goals. I'm a pause there really quickly because as I'm reading this, the thought came to me that that is why we are drawn to certain things, our careers, our interests. They all have a role in who we are to our core. And when we emit the energy of those things, the earth receives them. And it's like that infinity symbol, but it's also that give and take relationship. It's an ongoing giving relationship. The earth creates things and situations that will help guide us on our path. And that's in divine alignment with spirit. And that is also what I had said in that conversation. You go through certain things because spirit wants us to end up at a certain point at a certain time. And so the only way to get our attention, so say if like I'm supposed to be going this way or looking this way, but I'm always looking this way, we got to have a closed door here. We got to get rejection over here. We got to feel like we don't belong over here so that when we turn this way, it's like, bingo. This is where I have been trying to show you that this is where you are meant to be. This is where you're meant to go. This is who you're supposed to see. This is who you're going to make impact on. And the only way is if we go through those things. Right. Because that's literally the only other way that we can go. If all other places are closed down to us, it's like under construction, open highway. That's the only way that we can go. So now back to the book. It's almost done, I promise you. If you have been wondering if the spiritual work you are doing is making a contribution, take this oracle as validation that it is. What you are doing matters. Yes, you are going to expand and grow in the work you are doing and the impact that you have in the world because you are capable of that. But you are already helping in ways that you may not realize, but that the earth and the spiritual worlds do. You have loved the earth enough to take human form and do your work here. I don't know how many times we've always said you are a spiritual being in a human form.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You are a spiritual being in human form. This right here that y'all see, known as B and Magoon, baby, when this body, this capsule closes its eyes, this spirit will leave and go back to spirit until it is time to be reborn again as spirit sees fit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have loved the earth. Okay, wait. She knows it and she will reward you richly for it. Keep working, shining, and growing, dear one. Your presence here is so needed and honored. The invocation: through unconditional love, I am empowered to live my divine destiny. I trust in my gifts and talents. I know that all I need for divine success shall be provided for me. I now choose of my own free will to release any blocks, consciously or unconsciously held around trusting the earth to provide me with all that is needed to fulfill my divine life purpose. I am so grateful to receive all that I need and more. I feel much joy within me about my life, what I am capable of, what I have attained so far, and how much I can offer to the earth. I live from my heart with absolute trust. May all beings know their genuine worth and have confidence to express their grace through my own free will. So be it.
Yes.
So now, Spirit, after those two powerful messages, what would you have the collective to know during this time? Knight of Cups is the first card.
Mm.
Somebody bringing you a cup, a protected cup that's going to fulfill your happiness, that's going to give you that joy. I just heard unspeakable joy. The lovers. I was going to say
I knew you
relationship.
were going to say that card. I knew that card was coming out. I knew it.
Especially with the Knight of Cups. So many of us in the on the divine plane have been by ourselves, and now Spirit is saying it is time for your appointed unionship to happen. Why? So I was listening. I call them my girls, and at this point, I really can't remember. And I want to say it's Baba Jolie on YouTube. Shout out to Baba Jolie. If you see this, I love you. She says this, she gave this example of, a lot of people think that your divine love is supposed to be for you for your love. Wait. It may not have been her. It may have been another reader. So I apologize. But Baba Jolie is good too. She talks about these things too. But the reader was saying that when you find your divine partner, it's not about love, but it's about destiny. Your partner is supposed to help you build this empire that spirit wishes you to have. So if the person that you are attracted to, that you feel like you love, if they're not there to help you build, that is not your partner. And I've said this too a few months ago. We talked about building, and it's like, how can a queen and a pauper be together? A queen one is a ruler. The pauper or the page, let me put it that way. The page is just a messenger boy. The messenger boy and the queen can't have a thing going on because the power strengths are not aligned. The queen needs a king. The king needs a queen. You can't have a power struggle in your relationship because that's what causes jealousy. When you're both equal, oh, okay, well, she just went and bought two buildings. That's fine. I just bought two jets. That's fine. His and her jet, his and her building. We got the money to do it. We have the power to do it. Why would I be jealous of my queen? Why would I be jealous of my king? The card that just fell out, 9 of Wands. You are ready and equipped for this love. You are ready and equipped for this partnership. And and there's a transformation here. I don't even know if y'all really noticed. I'm just now noticing it myself. So the Knight of Cups. Look what's up there. Zebra, right? The 9 of Wands. A zebra that's a unicorn. So there's this transformation. You are already ready and equipped. You've gone through this transformation and you are ready. You are ready to handle what is coming for you. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is at the bottom. I did want to point that out. So that means that it's been divinely orchestrated that you are in this moment at this appointed time for a reason. Oh, okay. Page of Pentacles. You have some money coming in. I feel like this is industry, though. I feel like this is industry. Yep. Because we have the Queen of Wands here. Queen of Wands is the master of her industry. She's the master of knowing how to execute. And you have to use your intuition at this time, which is why it's the feminine energy, because there's some things that Spirit's going to show you that you really have to be tapped into your feminine energy. So the masculine energy, that king energy, is all about moving. But it's that energy of moving without really consulting oneself. And remember, you have to know yourself. Because it's gonna be something in the industry field, whatever industry that you're in, that is gonna cause you to have to self-reflect before you move. Because you don't want to move too fast, and you definitely don't want to move too slow, because you don't want to miss the opportunity.
Right.
It's that action of signing a contract before you found out the fine details. So think about that. I don't know who needed to hear that, but that just came to me. So don't sign any contracts without you reading those fine print, those fine details. Especially don't let them pressure you. I'm sorry, Bob. I will not be signing this line until I have that final document. Y'all want me to sign this document? Make sure that y'all have all the papers that I need to read beforehand.
And make sure you guys are not signing anything during Mercury retrograde. Make no commitments during Mercury retrograde.
High Priestess literally just jumped out. Look how focused she's on. Her eyes are. You have to stay focused, because now you're going to start to see the alignment. Okay, now that might be the unionship, but for some, there is a physical relationship coming towards you. But what I'm hearing in the spirit in my ear right now is that you have to stay focused, because what you're doing on the physical plane is now about to emerge with the spiritual plane. And you have to be able to tell the difference between the physical and the spiritual. And if you're not self-aware of what you're looking at, you can confuse the two. You have to see when an entity has attached itself to disrupt your peace, and when somebody honestly just forgot how to do something, or just, oh, my mistake, like I just forgot it. Are you gonna go ham on that person, or are you gonna give them grace? Are you gonna let that spirit slide, or are you gonna attack it and address it? You have to know the difference. Ten of Swords is here. You're no longer gonna be in the mindset of, is this really, did I really release? Your mind, you're gonna be at this peace, this level of peace that you've never been before. Remember how I just said, normally I would get highly frustrated because they missed the order was not placed the right way. I had to go downstairs to pick up my order because it was at another door. And when I looked at the door, I put in a work order last month that the number be removed because there can't be two 110s in this building. I'm the only 110. And they didn't do that. But I was just like, okay. So when you start to see yourself change, embrace it. Notice it, because there's growth there. There's a transformation that's happened. Butterfly. Stop thinking like the caterpillar when you're a butterfly. Stop thinking that you have to carry all this 16, 18 legs, however a centipede, a caterpillar has, or a centipede, whoever. You know, when you have flight now, you don't have to walk no more. You can fly to your destination. Think about that. One last card, Spirit. Okay.
No, Spirit.
One last card. I'm going to put these cards because there's a lot of fail. Okay. For the closing. What is the closing? Oh, I just saw a tree. I closed my eyes and I saw a tree. The Fool. Be ready to take off wherever spirit takes you. Don't try to control anything. Just go with the flow. Go with spirit. Allow spirit to show you, especially now that a lot of you, I just heard a lot of you have your eye has been open. For some of you, it's your right eye. Because my eyes, this right eye started tingling when I started talking. For some of you, it's your right eye. When you start to notice things, it's like you're going to notice it in the spiritual realm first, and then you'll see it, the manifestation of it in the physical realm. That is spirit letting you know that I'm activating some things in you to see. Remember, you're about to see some things in the spiritual realm, and you got to know how to focus in on the right thing. That is it.
Now, when you mentioned, hold up. Now, when you mentioned that, I felt attacked because I've been having issues with my left eye, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, could that be because Spirit wants me to hone in on my spiritual gifts and not so much my eyesight, but my third eye? Like, that hit home right there.
Mm-hmm.
That hit home because remember, we're not fighting flesh; we're fighting spirit.
We're fighting
spiritual warfare. So if my third eye is not alert, these are going to be no good. These don't mean diddly squat if my third eye is not on point. So that, what you said last hit home. I felt that one.
Yep.
I felt that one. Thank you, B, for giving us the read that we all didn't even know that we needed. And y'all already know. Y'all already know what time it is. Now that y'all have got an official read from B, y'all know what follows. Ask B. Okay, this is the time for y'all to put his tarot to the test. All right, this is your chance to throw any question under the sun his way. and let his cards do all the talking. Y'all can ask love, past life, career, that dream you had last night. Nothing is off limits. So this is your chance to ask B. And while you guys are trying to ponder on whether you want to play in the sun or dance in the dark, let me just thank you all for sticking online with us until damn near 12, almost 1 o'clock. We appreciate, love, and value you all, our new and returning subscribers. We love y'all. We just thank you guys for rocking out with us. And you know, we're going to definitely upload this live as we always do, so that you guys can catch the replay if you weren't able to stay on for the duration of the entire live. But yes, we always designate the last part of the show for B to be able to answer your questions. So if anyone has any questions, spiritual, love, that dream you had last night, your work forecast, anything under the sun, this is your chance to ask B. And this is completely complimentary in case you guys didn't know. Yes, B does charge for his spiritual services, but when you're on Cards and Conversations, you get a complimentary read. So definitely take advantage of this time. Now, do you have any special announcements you need to make during this time, or are we good?
No, I'm good right now.
Okay.
But I am open for private reading, so yeah.
I was gonna say that's a special announcement. Okay, that is a special announcement. B is open for private readings. How are they to get in contact with you? What's the easiest way for them to get in contact with you, B?
The easiest way is to contact me on the Healing Room Tarot page. Private message me. Yeah.
So the page that he is currently broadcasting from now is the quickest, most efficient way for you guys to get in contact with him. Send him a DM, let him know what you want his spiritual services, and he will get back in contact with you. And a lot of times I've noticed a lot of messages go to, junk mail, so where you can't read them. So also check your spam, because I had a lot of spam messages that I didn't even see because I didn't realize that. I guess if I'm not following people, the messages go straight to spam, or if we're not following each other, they go to spam. So definitely check your spam folder. I had a lot of messages in my spam. So if no one has any questions for B, or any questions, comments, and concerns about tonight's episode, this will conclude the episode. Where are we at now? 69, I believe. Yes, we're on episode 69. This will conclude Soul Contracts, episode 69. Again, just to reiterate, if you guys would like a personal private reading or just want to embark on our spiritual services, you can hit the link in my bio, or you can reach out directly to B. He just gave you guys the information that you guys can use to hit him up. And please remember that the cards do not dictate your fate. They simply illuminate your choices. So make sure that you guys choose wisely, love deeply, and that you guys are staying aligned. And if you're new to the channel, just know that we do this every Tuesday, 11:11, same time, same place, Cards and Conversations, where every episode unfolds a deck of intriguing discussions. If you guys are not comfortable asking your questions online, you can always shoot me a DM or B, and we'll read the question anonymously next week. All right? So we love y'all. Stay safe and stay dangerous, and we'll see you guys next week on Cards and Conversations.
Peace.